All right, we're back with Matt and Audra Karam. There's the magic, you guys. See? There we go. It's shaking, everybody. Welcome back to Two Dads in the Lab trying to be 2% better. Di Manuel is still sick. Dude, the guy's been sick for... Di, where are you, man? You're missing an incredible conversation right now. I'm sure if he's tuning in, he's laughing away, and I'll get a text later from him. But everybody knows I show love through jest. I show love through teasing. I'm going to bet that Matt Karam was probably taught the same way. So
exactly.
Di, we hope you're feeling better, pal. We're having a great conversation with Matt and Audra about clarity and managing expectations. And you guys were speaking on the last show about how a father and a daughter broke down in class when there was some miscommunication over expectations. Is it fair for us to have expectations of our kids, or is it fair we just have to manage what they are and be clear on what they are?
I think a little bit of all that.
Wow. Now that's a whole different question. So here's what I would say is I believe that if we want our children to do better than we've done, if we want our children to excel, they will get there much quicker if we help them.
Not do for.
No.
But help.
Yes. This is, man, the timeliness of this conversation. I try to keep myself relatable to my audience by sharing my own stories.
Sure.
And I'm going through it right now today, this moment in time, like this actual second.
Wow. That's huge.
Allow me to share it with you.
Please. I'm excited to hear.
So my son is heading this afternoon to a hockey camp, which is an hour up the road. Not a big deal, but potentially he's moving out there in a few months to play hockey this fall. So we've made the decision in the last week, and that's the decision he's making. However, Beezy, if you're listening in right now, tune out, buddy. However, we know that I've said to Karts to help him make the decision. I said, dude, take the next week. So this is the decision you're making. Here's what it is. Boom. I like that decision. I says, and go out there for the weekend. And then as you're coming back, decide, because you still have the chance to change your mind. Decide if that's really what you want to do. But on Monday, I said, Karts, let's decide you're going to Portage. That's what I'm doing. I'm like, all right, cool. So I said, start thinking that way, drinking that water, asking yourself the questions. So when you're driving out there on Friday by yourself, and I was teasing with them, you're driving out there by yourself, thinking about the billet house you're living in, think about going for groceries, think about the new high school. Just getting him thinking about it, Roger, right, Matt? Get him thinking
everything.
About the whole experience, right?
Yes.
Because he still has time to change his mind next week.
Yes.
Instead of deciding and then getting into it, I'm like, no, you get some time here. So if you come back from Portage on Monday, you're like, actually, no, I didn't like this, didn't like how I was thinking. Then we have some more direction on your thoughts.
Good advice.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But here's my dilemma. Maybe you guys are going to give me what I need to hear. So I'm like, hey, maybe I'll go for a ride with the kids this Friday out to Portage and go watch them play hockey today. Like after the show, I'll go for a ride. And I'm like, go hang out with them.
Sure.
But I'm like, no, because that really defeats the purpose of this whole experience of setting the boy and giving him the wings. Because what are we supposed to do as parents?
Let them fly.
Give our children wings and teach them to fly. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna fly right by my house. Come pick me up. But no.
I'm with you. And you know what?
But I'm thinking, Matt and Audra, that I'm gonna say, buddy, go. Text me later.
I'm so glad you said that. You know what I do? I say, Audra, what should we do?
Yeah. And Audra says,
everyone's different, but I think it's easier. We want to be involved with our children and we want to be helpful and be there to guide them. But yeah, you're right. I always say, and we experienced something a little different here when we moved here, the kids were in high school and the high school teachers wanted to stay engaged with us as parents and talk to them if they didn't get their homework in. And I'm like, well, in my mind, I'm like, they're in high school.
Yeah.
If they're not at the point where they know how to get their homework done, they need to have the natural consequences. I'm not going to be make sure you get your homework done. And so I think high school, like those teen years, are the time where you let them make the mistakes. We can still catch them.
Agreed. I completely agreed. The kid's 17 years old. in a
ready.
few months, he's got privilege to vote. Like, you're a young man. You're not so much a young boy anymore.
Yeah.
Correct.
And you do want to set him free. And I think it's at a safe age because he knows how to drive. He's been in situations where he might have gotten in a pickle, but he
Yes.
got himself out of it. And
Yes.
based on your experience and guidance, probably. But yeah, we got to let them go or they stay with you forever.
And it's funny, Audra, because I originally said, hey, dude, you're on. So it's just some day. So he's going to go there today. I'll come back tonight, go there again tomorrow, I'll come back. But it'll give him some chance to think about the whole thing. It's just an hour drive. Typically, I'm always with him. Like, typically, Dad's always there. So,
Me too.
And then on Monday, though, when I was like, I was like, go on your own. But then on Wednesday, when he's over here, because he lives with his mom's down the street, and I'm like, no, I think I'm going to come with you, dude. And he looks at me, he's like, no, I said you weren't coming. I was like, oh, what? I thought maybe you wanted me to come. He's like, no, actually, I thought you were. So I'm like, okay, so does he want me to come? Does he not want me to come? Now, do you know what I mean?
I do. I understand 100%. As a dad, I always wanted to be that person that helped excel them.
Yes.
And help be with them,
Yes.
support them so they didn't feel like they were on their own.
Yes.
Where you draw that line is a hard place. And depending on the children, that's why I always did phenomenal with the martial arts part, right? But her degree in child life, I would defer to her. And I would say, okay, Audra, what should we do?
But the difference in us is I'm a more cut and dry. Yep, this is how we're doing it. And he's more, what do you think about? He's more analytical.
That's interesting. Because I would think the other way around.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You would think. You would, yeah.
But now that you say it, though, and I reflect upon it for a moment, I'm not surprised now. Because typically I'm thinking, yes, he's cut and dry. But no, that's how he was taught. He doesn't want to be that way. So he can be more analytical, more thoughtful on it. You probably, Audra, through your teaching and schooling, you're taught to be cut and dry. Like, no, actually analyze, boom, there's the decision. So now that I hear you guys and hear who you are, I'm not surprised to hear that you guys are a nice compliment. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
And I think it's worked well for us, but I'm sure we've made mistakes as every parent has.
Sure. But I always made sure if it revolved around the household,
yes,
I didn't get any advice. What did your mom say?
That was just like my dad.
Yeah. What does mom say?
Except when he wanted to discipline, and then it wasn't communicated. It was disciplined.
Yes.
There's a difference, right?
There is, no doubt.
D comes after C.
Yes. No. And for us, I think most parents want to do a phenomenal job with their kids.
Yes.
Most have that desire in their heart. But many don't know how to accomplish that. And many of them struggle with not having the time to reflect and or change it or know what to do. So Keith, that's why when you said in the past episode, you reflected upon that encounter and then made changes. I'm the same way.
Yes.
I reflected on that encounter with my daughter.
Yes.
When I hollered at her and I made her cry.
Yes.
And I felt horrible and terrible about it. And I said, from this day forward, I will change that forever.
So let's ask this, but both of your dads probably did not do any reflection, right?
No,
not at all. And no, because there wasn't that awareness. There wasn't
the awareness. Well, it's a different time.
Well, shoot, I spend thousands of dollars on psychologists and therapists for myself to figure that out, to understand that
agreed.
My parents, again, love my parents, but weren't taught weren't taught to be curious about that awareness, weren't encouraged for that awareness, and maybe just did not have some of the emotional capacity for that awareness. Just call it what it is.
Yeah,
agreed.
If I can add what I think, and this is just Audra's view, but based upon the past generations, this is the action, this is the consequence or punishment. And now this generation is getting more aware of reflection and how do we help our kids. And I think there's such confusion because if you go too extreme, your guys' way where we're reflecting, we want to make sure the kids are okay and
yes.
As opposed to dad says a boot in the butt and let's go.
Well,
I think we need that happy meet. We're still confused in this generation.
I cannot. So you guys reading my book or something? Because you're in my life here in the last 24 hours. Because a few things. The old Uncle Keith's going to rant here for a moment. Love my daughter, goes to gymnastics last weekend. They give everybody freaking golds. We got a high gold, we got a medium gold, we got the bronze gold, we got the yellow gold, we got the gold. No, it's actually gold, silver, gold. It's gold, silver, bronze. Sorry,
it is.
It sucks to be third. Work harder, you get the gold.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
I'd struggle with that. And then this morning, I was corrected. I was doing some reading because I do read. Yes. And I was struck by something I read, and it reminded me that we often talk, Audra, Matt, about the journey. Corporations talk about the journey. And this article brought up something that really made me reflect on the fact that we're talking so much about the freaking journey that lethargy set in. We've all become lethargic. We're all accepting mediocrity. So, man, no, we got to put the foot on the pedal. Like this morning I was working with, and I'm like, no, yes, humans first, yes, kindness first, but we got to get the job done. We got to get done, because if we don't get done, then the job's not going to get done.
Oh, exactly. And so you're no doubt, I think as fathers, it's our job to set that high expectation.
Yes.
We don't set it in the household.
And I was, but man, but mothers too.
And mothers too.
So my wife is running a marathon here coming up, and I love the example she's setting for our daughters.
Yeah. Oh, huge.
So I think both parents need to set the example for their children.
Set the example, yes, but set the bar too.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. For expectations, right?
Yeah.
Some families that I have met with as being an instructor.
Yes.
The dad barely is there.
Right.
Doesn't participate.
Right.
Plays a video game when he gets home. Mom has all the responsibilities. That household is not teaching those children to strive to be better. The dad's sitting playing that video game all night, and the mom's trying, but she can't do it on her own.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've seen is when the dad pulls the wagon, when the dad's out front leading, it makes it so much easier on the mom to participate. And then the children also feel uplifted as well. My goal for our children has always been that they are more successful in life than we are. Okay.
I think most of us parents want that for our children. I would like to think all parents want that for their children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So knowing that, how do we make that happen? And I'm not saying the legacy I'm measuring, I used to be a partner in a registered investment advisory firm.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
We managed $1 billion for our wealthy clients, right?
Yes.
So I'm not talking about a financial legacy with these kids, okay? I want my legacy to be my kids.
Yes.
That's the difference. I want to invest in them.
Yes.
I don't want to, you know how the saying is, I don't want to give them fish. I want to teach them how to fish.
No, and I'm really glad you bring that up, because I don't think enough parents think about the greatest return on investment you can have as your children.
Yes.
Like the greatest ROI is actually your kids.
Yes. Now we're on the same page. Okay.
Like 100%.
All the rest of it can fall apart.
Yes.
Everything can fall down. But if you've taught, I wanted to make sure that my children would do well in this world, whether I'm here or not.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And to make that happen, I had to give them a foundational set of skills to be successful. So we used martial arts as a vehicle to teach those transferable life skills.
Yes.
Okay. I wanted my children to be respectful of people, respectful of property. I wanted them to have focus. I wanted them to know teamwork. We went through the list. We created 12 skills. I should rephrase it. We identified 12 leadership skills that need to be taught below the age of 9 to develop those behaviors, which turn into habits, so that they can succeed in life, whether we're here or not. I wanted that the duplicatability is huge in a company. One of the biggest things you want a CEO to do is train as replacement, right?
Yes. Succession planning. Yes.
Huge, right? This is the same with your children. Think about them taking over. Whether you have a business to take over or not, that's not the point. How do they take over a household?
Yes.
How do they have children of their own? How do they create leaders in the children that they have? And if you instill those things in them when they're younger, they will take that with them the rest of their life. And that's the best gift you can give them.
That's, as we work to wrap up episode 2 here, I love that message, Matt, because it is a gift, and it's teaching, it's showing. It's one thing that we always talk about here in the lab is showing up, being consistent, They just show up consistently. And
Yeah.
also, I think when we think of our children, it's not so much what we say to them, it's what they see us doing,
Yes. By
which
far.
which by far I think is as
Exceeds.
important or exceeds what they're hearing you say, right?
Correct.
So it's so showing up, being kind, being respectful, and setting expectations. Matt, Audra?
Oh, hands down. And consequences,
And
right?
yes, yeah.
And
Yeah,
which is huge.
that's thank you for bringing that up. I think we're going to have you guys back with die because that's a word. Actually, official invite. Will you guys come back for for the next show?
We would love
Sure.
to.
Because I'm loving the dialogue because I
Oh, thank
really want to unravel, and this is we're going to set it up. We're going to unravel consequences. It's not
Love
often talked about, is it?
No.
Because
No.
I know when I was growing up, and maybe Matt, maybe you can relate, because I did it with my kids. Frankly, we don't live far from two jails around here. I drove by with my. I'm serious, Audra. Hey
Yeah.
kids, yeah, you're gonna act up. You're gonna end up there. There's
Yeah.
no gray in that.
No.
If you
no.
can't get if you can't get yourself sorted out right now as an 8-year-old in this situation, or as a 10-year-old, or as a 7-year-old,
Yep.
that is where you are on a path to go one day. That is the consequence.
Yes.
I get frustrated that we get too soft with.
Oh,
I'm not gonna. We're not gonna go
That's
there.
another conversation.
Yeah, but I wonder if we're not talking enough with our children about the severity of what a consequence can be, will be.
Real life.
It's
Yeah.
not always exactly, Audra. It's not always kind. It's not always nice.
no.
Yeah.
It isn't.
I know I preach kindness on the show and I preach grace because I believe in that and I believe in the heart of humanity.
Agreed.
But
As
not-
we do, right?
But not everybody does. And you mess up, somebody on the other side of that fence over there might
Yep.
not have any grace for you. They might have only consequences for you. So
Exactly.
Sounds like a great topic.
It
I
does.
think so. So we're going to wrap up episode 2 with Audra, Matt, Karam. We talked about leadership. We talked about the greatest gift we can give our children is showing them, creating boundaries, providing clarity with our words. I love what you said in episode 1 of our two-part show together, which is clean your room. Yeah, what does that mean? And I reflect on an example as often used was cut the grass. Okay.
Sure.
Well, what does that mean as well? Now that I reflect upon that, because I've even used it to today. If you're going to spend 4 hours cutting the grass, you might as well do it properly. Yeah, but what does that mean properly, Keith? What does it mean properly to you, Audra? Well, to me,
right?
properly means certain lines, doing the trimming. Man, like it's just funny so if somebody's tuning in right now, it's the clarity over the cleverness is so damn important, isn't it?
It's huge, Keith. Yeah, your clarity point is everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yes. How can Business Athlete Nation, how can LinkedIn Nation find Matt and Audra Karam? I'm going to quickly, how can they find you guys?
On LinkedIn, we have a page, Black Belt Bruce, or they can just reach out to Audra. And then we're at www.blackbeltbruce.com. Or
Did
Karam's
you just
little-
say www in 2024? Did you?
I know, right?
Did we, Matt? Did we get that? We actually recorded that. Like we got.
So I'll tell you what. Somebody asked, they're like, "Okay, www. I'm like, yeah, that's it." So I was just trying to be clear.
I like how you can pull that. Oh, zinger back to Uncle Keith over here. That's awesome. That's awesome. But you know that we've just created a 1-minute trailer here. We get some humor. I'm going to get some laughter and some funniness of www. That's 3 W's. All my Generation Z friends,
Right.
all my Gen A'ers. You're like, what the hell is he talking about? www. No, that's a different show.
There you go.
Matt and Audra, thanks for joining me today. What a wonderful conversation. And you guys have to
Thank
come
you.
back. We'll do it off air here, but come back. I want to talk about consequences.
We love it.
Yeah,
Love to do it.
because that's something that we can continue talking about through the lens of leadership and so forth. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to stick you back in the green room quickly, say goodbye to the audience, come back and walk you guys out, okay?
Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
Hang tight. 1
Thank
second.
you.
Boom. All right. Woo. There we go. Ooh, new camera angle there. Hey, that was fun. That was fun. Sorry, Di. Sorry, man. I had a lot of fun without you. And I felt like maybe I was cheating for a little bit there. And I was having this great laughter with my friends. And I was wondering how you were feeling. Hope you're not coughing too much. I know you said you didn't have a voice. I got one for you, pal. Get better. All right. So I'm going to get out of here, go walk my friends out of the lab. Audra and Matt are just patiently waiting for me in Arizona. I wonder if I sat here for a long time, how long they wait for me? Just like we waited for 29 years for the Jets to leave Arizona once they landed there. So let's just see. Let's just sit and wait. Okay, they're still waiting. Oh, they're still waiting. Awesome. Yes. Hey, we'll see you guys. We'll see you Monday in the lab. Myself, Nicole Bernard. Hey, Matt and Audra, we have a morning show. we played in Arizona too. It's true. Yeah. We'll see you guys. I'm going to get out of here.